Hey folks, Joshua here. Welcome back to Timberborn. Last time we left off near the end of Cycle 2. We haven't had a warning about the next drought yet, but we are in a pretty good position. We've got plenty of food and water and materials coming in. We're building up our science. We've got 22 adults, 7 children, 7 free beds, working on a 3rd floor for housing over here. And we've got some plans in place to dam off the main upper part of the river here to make sure that we retain water during the next drought. We talked about potentially getting into building some dynamite to start landscaping. The problem with that, if we go and take a look at... Is it... it's not metal. Where is the dynamite thing? Let's see. Well-being decoration monuments. Probably not there. Not district management. How would I unlock dynamite? Well, we would need the, where is it? The bad water pump. That's going to require metal. Bad water dome, bad water rig. Oh, this is interesting. I didn't know these existed. Seals of bad water source can be opened or closed at the will. Bad water rig. Interesting. Heavy duty machinery transforming the dangerous bad water into a usable extract. It's not under food. I wonder if this group even can make dynamite. Maybe they can't. Metal, smelter mine, power, science. Refinery makes fuel for bots. Maybe dynamite is only that other faction. Yeah, maybe it is. Okay, so I guess we don't... I guess this group doesn't have the ability to... Or maybe it's under... No, there it is. Okay. So dynamite... Yeah, the explosives factory. Here we go. This is going to require metal as well. So before we can get into dynamite, we have to get into metal, right? It might be time to start gathering some. Where's the nearest source of scrap metal available to us? There's some over here. That's kind of a trek. There's some over here as well. Yeah, it's all pretty far away. I'm wondering whether I need to get into... What is this? Underground ruins. Infinite depth. Whatever humans were doing down there, it sure required lots of metal. Okay. So... the nearest scrap metal that's available to us is probably this chunk over here. Yeah, it looks like that's the nearest chunk. I'm wondering if we want to set up another district over here to just produce metal. We have some wood, we have some berries, we have water available. We could potentially set up some sort of district crossing around here. Set up a second district, like, you know, the Metalworks district. We could set it up around this area, have some housing, have some farming, have some water pumping, and a big metal production. We could probably get a water wheel in there or something. I don't know if I want to get into districts or not, but we do need metal. It might be worthwhile to... Let's see. So I guess... Huh. I guess the district's boundary is determined by the path you provide it? Yeah, it might be provided by the path. Maybe. It might be worthwhile to set up another district over here. What's the way to get over there? We're not gonna have a path, really, because if we put the sluice gates in, you're not gonna be able to walk on top of those as we get our way across. Yeah, we have the plan to do these, but then you're not going to be able to walk across the two we're going to put in there, the sluice gates or whatever. What are they called? Floodgates. Yeah, they're not solid. So, in order to get over here to set up, we either need to have them swim through the water, which, again, is a long path, or how else would we do it? What would be the way to get over there to this metal? We have the path down here. We could build stairs that get us up onto this. And then we'd have to get across and then down. So that's another project that we need to work on once we get this built. But I think that's kind of an interesting idea. Get over here and harvest this metal. Where else could we go? There's some over there. There's a little bit here, which might be sort of easier to get to. Maybe not. I don't think moving through the water is a big problem for them. If we give them a path through the water, they'll just take it. Rather than kind of navigating all of this, it might be better off to just have have a path that goes down through here and then up onto this ridge. So like we'd have a path like, let's see, a path that led over here-ish, right? Something like this. And then do we want to follow the line here? Maybe. You can just walk. They can just swim over to here. Right? That could get them over here, and then they could make their way up and on. So if we had like a staircase like this, and then the path connecting this way. We haven't yet connected this path entirely because we're still waiting on some demolishing. But that could give them at least a way to get over here, and then we could start gathering this metal. It's a long trip. I'm not sure if it's viable. I don't know if they can... Yeah, no, they can make that... Like, it's a long trip, but they can make it over here and do some work. Gather a little bit of metal, right? So then we continue this path like this. Make our way over in this direction. Suddenly we have access to the metal, right? So we need to finish this path first, and we are worried as well about the completing the dam. This drought is going to come sooner or later, so I'd like to have that done first. It might not play out. We might get the drought tomorrow before we can finish this, but in the meantime, looks like we're doing quite well. We've got a full 4 builders. We've got 3 haulers, 5 scientists. Yeah. And our resources are doing well. Food and water were fine. I think we just start playing through a couple days at high speed here to let all of the things we planned work out and get some of this stuff that we've planned finished, and then see where we go from there. Forester's keeping up with the pines. That's good. So getting some metal is going to be key to further architecture or further technological advancements for things like dynamite and other things. We are going to want to start harvesting sap. Oh yeah, look at this guy. This guy broke his teeth, unfortunately. So I need to get him sorted somehow. That's under well-being. The teeth grindstone we need to build. Where do I want to put this? Where do I have like a little tiny bit of space? Little tiny bit of space here-ish. Where else? Anywhere else that's good? In near kind of the center of town? This isn't bad. We're not going to use that space for anything else. Let's pop that down. And we'll put this high priority just so that it gets built for that one worker. Seems good, right? Other things we'd like to unlock are... We'd like to continue improving our wellness, so it might be time to plant some tomatoes because... If we look at our not tomatoes, potatoes. Sunflower seeds, that's nutrition. Now, hold on, can I just plant sunflowers? Yeah, and then every 5 days we get 2 seeds. So that's just a straight up, I wonder if I want to replace some of these carrots with sunflower seeds. We don't so much need raw food stocks. Like, we're keeping up with our population in terms of raw food. This 295 keeps growing. But our carrots have been hovering between 70, 80, 90. Like, it's slowly going up. But this one guy can't keep up with this huge field. So does it make sense to build another huge field or replace some of this and put another farmer in to handle that? Like, this one guy is slowly growing our carrot stocks, which is fine. But if we want to improve our well-being, we need to replace some of these crops. Like, because they're just sitting there. He's not even harvesting them, right? Like, he harvests and then he plants, and then he harvests and then he plants. So it looks like this is about the amount he can handle. I guess they're eating the carrots, too. Preferring the carrots over the berries because it's a better food for them or more nutrition for them. Is it time to add another farmer and maybe... Let's see. I think we can afford to replace some of this. Let's just get, like... It takes longer to grow and it's less resources, but it's more nutrition. Let's replace some of the carrots with sunflowers. So we probably need to clear the area first. And then mark it for sunflowers. I guess we would need to remove this. Kind of went overkill on these carrots, it looks like. So we would need to mark these for removal, I guess. All right, let's do that. In fact, why don't we do all of it? Like, it's just sitting there doing nothing. So let's get rid of all of it. It feels bad, but... Yeah, I don't know, he's harvesting that now? This is probably enough carrots. We can put in another farmer and do seeds, and another farmer and do potatoes. So having all of this marked like this is not helpful, I don't think. Maybe we just... Okay, so he harvested that and it did go away. Let's focus you on harvesting and maybe get one more worker to kind of soak up some of these carrots. And then later we can replace them with other crops. I think that's fine, right? We're not struggling for food. This one farmer is keeping us up to date with just this small stretch. So I think it's okay. Okay, we did get our teeth grinding station built and our little beaver is grinding his teeth. Hang on. Let me get in here. Get a shot of this if I can. It's too bad I built it out of the sun. Can I get, like, in front of you a little bit? That's okay. There we go. That's a decent screenshot. Tooth grinding station, right? He's doing that work. We've now got a plan to reconfigure how this is going to work. We've got our two farmers. Very nice. I don't know where this other one came from, but somebody decided to work here instead of somewhere else. There's two more levees going in. We're building up a nice stockpile of planks and gears. That's very good. Let's see. We did get our next free set of beds set up, so we got 10 free beds. We can slowly build out more housing as it's necessary. If this carrot decision proves wrong, we can always turn our berries back on. This lone berry patch probably should go, just because, well, no, we'll leave it for now. We're planting up birches here. I guess that's overkill, but it's fine. We've carved our way through the pines and replanted them. There's more here. So these guys can reach some of them. This guy's the one that can reach all of them. You know what? It might make sense to move one of these over here, like maybe this one. Yeah, let's do that. You can reach everything, right? Yeah. Let's destroy this. And then let's delete this. We can replant that as a pine. That. Oh, we did get our path structure built here. Let's get that built up. This demolition is completed. Okay. So yeah, this is a very long path. Unfortunately, to get access to metal, we don't really have a choice. One thing we can do is figure out where metal storage goes and get the storage built so that if somebody does walk over here, they're not walking all the way back to put one piece of metal somewhere. So I'm guessing it's a pile. Is there scrap metal? Yeah, scrap metal. We need scrap metal pile over here. What is that going to look like? What type of trees are these? These are birches? Yeah, we don't really care about that. They're super inefficient. We can clear cut those if we want and plant here and have another district. But in terms of this scrap metal, we definitely want to have a large pile here. Does that make sense? 180 metal. Okay, 3 days until the drought arrives. So we'll have to think about that. What makes the most sense here? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Maybe like this? And then they can... Maybe like this. It gives us those. Let's set the construction priority on these lower, because I'd like to finish the dam if possible. And then set up the path to go through here. Something like this. And then we can have our metal gathering here, right? Oh, I have to unlock this. This is 250. All right, let's go ahead and unlock this. We'll have one guy working here, gathering up metal scrap once all this gets built. So let's also set the priority low on this and on the stairs. That's fine. And then over here, let's up the priority on these guys. And let's see about putting in the 2 gates, right? So, paths and structures, no. Landscape. We want the floodgates here, right? And then if we go to the assigned priorities, there we go. Okay. We'll see how this plays out. We'll see if this can get built in the next 3 days and if it can prevent this giant lake, this upper area of the map, from draining completely. Because we don't want all of that water draining in here and spilling over our dam down here. We want all of this to remain green, if possible. I don't know what height we want to set that in, or if having the 2 is too much, too little. We also don't want to flood this area so that, because that would be really bad for us to have our trees flooded. But I feel like if I set those to 0, at least everything should be able to pass through. If I set it to like 0.5, feels like we should be able to stop the flood, or the drought rather, from completely draining this area in the days afterwards. Okay, 1 beaver unemployed. A little bit concerning. I guess we can throw another worker into the farm for now. And just like harvest all those carrots real quick. Will they? Yeah, they are going to harvest out here as well. Okay. That's fine. We'll just let them deplete this over time, and then we'll throw in the dandelions and maybe the potatoes and such. How are we doing on our other resources? Over 300 food, over 300 water, plenty of logs coming in. Nice big stockpile of planks and gears. All that looks great. With 5 scientists, right? That's going well. Some scientists going. Okay. So they should be, yeah, they're building up our dam to deal with this second drought. This floodgate might end up giving us what we want if we can get it done. I don't think I have too much more management to do. I'm not too worried about anything in terms of resources. Everybody's employed. Everybody's got housing. We got our teeth sharpening station up. You know, people are doing fairly well on their well-being. The recently born kids didn't eat carrots, so we don't get the full bonus there. Everybody's got shrubs and rooftops and campfires and stuff. So yeah, we're doing quite well. Let's speed through the next couple of days, see if we can get this built in time. There's one. I did see the green spreading here a little bit as we narrowed the flow. I think the level might have raised a tiny bit when we put that in. All right, going through the night. Everybody's enjoying the campfires, going to sleep. Should have 2 days left. Here they all come. Okay, I did waste some people grew up and I didn't have jobs for them. That's the problem with speeding. All right, so we've got 4 builders. We've got 3 haulers. Do we want another hauler? What do we want to do here? We've got 3 farmers. Water's fine. We don't need another pumper. We're almost full on planks. We do have plenty of room for logs that we're not using right now, so let's see. This forester won't have much to do if we don't cut down some of these. Let's turn one of you on. Let's turn that guy on. We can turn you on as well for now until this other one gets built. We don't need this other forester. What else can we do? I mean, having more builders would be good, or having the option to have more builders would be good. So we could theoretically get a builder hut, right? We could come here and unlock the builder's hut for 100 to employ additional builders. Where else can we send someone to do work? I guess we can just clear cut the birches for now. Just build up our log stockpile. Large pile of logs, yeah. Okay. By the way, haulers. Yeah, even with all those haulers, like, I guess they burn through the logs pretty quick because this must have been filled and then they burned through 4 of them. Either way, I think we're okay on haulers. All right. That gets everyone employed. 27 adult workers. I love to see it. And our floodgates are built. Okay. So with this in place, it looks like we're not... Okay, our power output has dropped from 380. So we might be seeing more or less flow here. I think, yeah, look, the level is rising. So we need to, this was around 50%. I think this is synchronized with adjacent floodgates. I think we need to lower this to like 0.5. And then we'll see if our horsepower, if like the flow is able, if everything that was going through these 4 squares or 5 squares is able to flow through those 2. Maybe we leave it at 0.65 for now and just see. Maybe we'll just watch this water level for a bit. It is still rising. Let me slow down the day a little bit. So the water level raises to here. And then I think it's stabilized at 0.65. It's gone up from 0.5 to 0.65. But this does not appear to be flooding. And we'll have to see whether our horsepower comes back to its higher level once all of this kind of stabilizes. You can see it should be the same amount of water flowing through this opening. It's just speeding up here and then slowing down here and then going back, hopefully, to where it was before. Our demand is 220. How is our demand 220? You're demanding 50. Oh, you demand 120. Okay, I see. We'll have to see if this causes a problem. Is there another outflow now? Starting to build this stuff. I think we're going to be good for this drought to check it out. I don't think there was another outflow, right? That's in, or that's a water source. Yeah, the same amount of water should be flowing through. Should be flowing through here. I guess more of it might be shunted this way. That's probably the problem. By restricting the flow over here, we've forced more water to run faster through here, possibly. That could be it. Or I could be imagining it. We could see. No, I think by restricting the flow, we've reduced our horsepower here. Yeah, more of the water's going on this other route now and flowing through the dam. So like if we built a water wheel here, we'd have that power we had before. So is it an acceptable trade-off? Maybe. I believe we could narrow the flow with levees here and force more water through this. I believe that's possible. Why don't we try that? All right, so this is, it seems like it's averaging out around 218. I think this dam is forcing more of the massive amount of water here to flow this other path. And so we've lost some of the stream. We've lost some of the throughput. It could be that replacing this levee with another one of these gates could resolve that problem. The other thing we could do is force this water through a narrower channel by building some levees here. But, not sure what I want to do. You're going to be scrap metal. We're going to copy your settings over here. There we go. Okay. Watu is traveling 113 units of distance over here to the scavenger flag to get our first bits of metal, I guess. That's okay. All right. This other storage has been built. What do we want to put here? Probably dandelion seeds that we're planning to build. Or, yeah, we're not quite up to pine resin yet. Did dandelions have to be processed into seeds or what? How does that work? We look at nutrition. Oh, sunflower. Oh, wait a minute. There's a difference between sunflower. I don't want dandelion. I want sunflower. Oh. Okay, hold on. So sunflower seeds, how do I get access to those? Oh, it's a crop. Yeah, it's a crop. Sunflower. Okay. And it produces seeds. So how do I store that? Sunflower seeds. There we go. All right, let's set that up for the future. That seems good. What's going on over here? Oh, that's stuff that hasn't been planted yet. Okay. They're gradually clearing out these carrots. That's good to see. Our food stocks have soared to 426. We got plenty of wood. Got our first piece of scrap metal. We got our gates there. I think we'll wait for the sun to take a look at our scrap metal, but that's okay. Yeah, this is kind of permanently reduced by what we've done. I guess I could do something similar, right? I could put something similar here to reduce the flow over here and force more water through those. I don't know if that's what I want to do. I might be better off replacing this levee, maybe both of these levees after the drought with another pair of floodgates so that we get more flow. That might be the play. I think the reason I did this was that these are more expensive. Like, they cost planks and stuff, whereas the levees don't. But the other option is to move into wind power or try to improve the rate of flow here by blocking off in front of it. I could build a second wheel as well. I don't. We have enough power for these 3 buildings. That's it. I'm not sure what to do about that. Like, we could get this back to 380. That gets us like another 140 HP. That's enough for 1 more gearworks or like 2 more of these things. Maybe we just leave this as it is for now. It's not a problem. And we probably need to move into wind power anyway at some point. All right, the drought is 1 day away. I do want to take a nice screenshot of my beautiful new floodgates. Seems fine. The other thing we've taken on now is the idea of collecting scrap metal. Another fun screenshot for me. Okay, I guess we just get through the drought now and see how this performs. I've left this at the default level of 0.65. What is complaining about lacking workers here? The lumberjack flag? Okay. That's fine. Shetzi was born. Did somebody die? Is that what happened? We did get quite a few kids born. So it seems like they'll fill whatever housing I give them. Up to 27 adults, 9 children. Okay. Well, we've got food and water for days, so we should be able to support this population. This is 36 beavers. That's pretty solid. Do I want to build more of this 3rd floor? I think the better play is to prepare for it by building the path. Yeah, let's build out the path instead. And then when we need the housing, we can build it, right? Another thing I'd like to do is get up here so that we'll have access to these roofs as well. So let's see about that. I don't want to do that. I can do this and then stairs. That looks like that'll work. And then we go like this. That gives us this little spot here for something. Maybe a lantern would end up going there. Where's the deck well-being? How do I get a lantern? No, it's decorations, right? What is this, 100? 100 science? Why not? Let's get that unlocked. 2 logs, 4 planks. Okay. Yeah, we can get some lanterns around here in some of this empty space, right? Places where people walk. Where else do we want a lantern? Here probably makes sense. Somewhere like a corner here is not bad. Where else could we get one? Where could we squeeze one in? Over here, maybe? If it's near all the housing, everybody should encounter it at least once during the day. Maybe we get one more over here, like this. Yeah, that seems good. All right, so we'll let them build that. That'll get our well-being up a little bit. We've got lanterns and shrubs around. We don't have roofs yet. Scarecrow, wind gauge. This is an aesthetic. Aesthetics within 1 tile. Yeah, I don't know how that works. We'll have to wait and see. It's like if they pass by it during the day, they get the benefit, I'm guessing. Go back to well-being. Some showers might not be a terrible idea. Requires access to water. So folks would have to come out to the water's edge over here maybe to use it. But maybe that's something we can do. That's only 50. All right, let's unlock that. See about building a few of these. How would this work? Okay, so I need a little bit more space. How does it... Yeah, it looks like it has to work like that. So the edge has to be hanging over into the lake. Okay. Entrance is blocked. Right. I'd like it to be closer to town rather than further. I don't like the idea of them having to... I mean, if they come over here to the shower, they're already going through the water. So how is that handy? How is that useful? I guess it's just a way to... This meets the wet fur need. Maybe I should have unlocked this. I should have just put something over here for them to do. I guess it's fine. I'll throw a couple showers over here for them. It becomes redundant because as soon as they come to the shower, their fur's already wet, but whatever. They can use the showers. How are we doing? 28 full-grown adults, all employed. Love to see it. Drought starts tomorrow. We're going to see if this plan worked correctly. If this whole area remains. Oh, now, wait a minute. Yeah, it should work. Because even though there's this other route for the water, it ends up going to the same dam we already have. All right, yeah, let's see. We have to get through the whole of day 19, the first day of the drought. Because it took a while to drain this upper region. It took a while to drain. The power should stop. Yeah, there's the power stopping. So let's pause all of our production buildings for now. Those folks are going to need something to do, so might as well have them clear cut, I guess. Yeah, not a lot of wood available over here to cut, unfortunately. What else can we do with them? We're almost full on water and food. Carrots have all been harvested. I guess it's time to build some more science buildings? That could work, right? You know what we need in this case? We need a builder's hut, so we can throw more builders into that job. In the interim, we can throw people in as haulers to move things around. Where would I put the builder's hut if I unlocked it? I do have the science for this. Let's get this unlocked. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, it's not the smallest building of all time. Where do we want to put this? Somewhere down in here, I guess. It could be on the other side of this. Yeah, I think that works. There's our builder's hut. And we can throw a path here. That's going to be full. It's like this is the way to go. Okay. We're going to have another farm there eventually, and then there's some space here for something. Okay. I think we throw some more science in here. We get the builder's hut first. Now, hold on. Let me check this. Yeah, it looked like this worked. This worked as intended, right? So the upper area stopped flowing through, but it's not going to drain. It's blocked by our two dams. So all the outflow possible is from here. And the lower... Wait, oh, is there a lower level? No, it will still drain because it'll drain here. No. Will it? Yeah, this is still draining. So if we look over here, there's a little bit of height at this level. And then as it, well, okay, so this is actually acting as a natural dam, so we're okay. So this part of the river, it looks like will drain down to 0 as it falls over this lip right here and out over the dam. But, so this will all drain, but everything behind this dam and these floodgates should stay green, which means all of our trees are not at stake, or are not under threat of dehydration, and all of this land should remain green. What we'll see is all of this will dry out for a day or two. And so we'll have to keep that in mind, that if we want to solve that, we're going to need another dam here. Maybe with the floodgates as well. And that would bring our power back probably if we reduce this down to 2 tiles. How can we have access up to here, so we could build along this. No, that's not high enough. We need to get up on here somehow and build across this lip. But if we built another dam here, the same as the one we just completed with these floodgates, then we should be able to, you know what else? We should be able to actually control the flow. We could maybe even make it 1 tile over here so that all the water's forced through these 2 and really power up. We might get this over 380 then. Interesting. So bookmark that idea, put a pin in that maybe we get another dam over here. But hey, it's a learning curve. It's learning the map. It's learning the game. It's all going quite well, I think. I mean, we're up to, what is this, 40 beavers? We got food and water and materials for everybody. I'm feeling pretty good. Get our builder's hut up, get a few more builders. Yeah, there we go. That's drying up as I thought it would. Okay. So that all dries up. There's a little reservoir here that keeps this chunk green, interestingly. All right, there's our builder's hut. Let's reduce our workers. There we go. Okay, so we've got 8 builders active now. That's probably overkill. Just having 6 is probably enough. Slow down a little bit. I'm racing through the day. At 2 vacancies. What's that, in the clear cutting? Okay. What is the time for this next round of pines to regrow? That's a quarter done. 86% done. Okay, so we're almost back to another day and some of these trees will grow up. We can keep cutting. These oaks are going to be, yeah, the oaks are starting to come in as well. So yeah, we're good. We're good with logs and stuff. Actually, we're almost full on, well, not almost full, but we're piling up quite a nice stockpile of logs, planks, and gears. I like that. Starting to grow our scrap metal. I like that. Okay, for extra capacity in terms of employment and growing the colony, I think we put in some more houses. Let's do a couple more lodges here, like this and this. And then we'll leave these 2 for now, and we'll throw some science on top of that. So you can face this way, like this. And then as long as we path for you. Everything should be fine. Gives us 3 more science huts to throw people into when we have excess capacity of builders or haulers or whatever. What do we have here? 4 haulers. It's probably 4 haulers for a population of 30 working adults is probably overkill. Let's keep it at like 1 to 10 maybe. So 3 haulers, I think. And then right now we have 6 builders. That's probably too much. Well, I mean, they'll get that stuff built quickly. And it's not like I have somewhere else to put them right now. This is good, right? This is good. We have more people than we know what to do with. That's a good thing to have, because it was the exact opposite up until quite recently. Starting to get some scrap metal. If we can build this other dam, and as I suspect, it lets us control our water wheel or to repower it, we might be able to build our first smelter here. This takes 30 scrap metal, 20 gears, 50 planks, and 300 science. It does require 200 horsepower, which we would not really be able to provide from this sole water wheel. So what we might do, they're going to have to haul this metal a long way to use it anyway. I don't like using Greenland for it, but... I think we'll reserve this water wheel for that. Maybe what we need to get into then... All right. Drought ended, cycle 3 begins. Maybe we need to get into windmills now. Right? Because then we can put our smelter up here or over here, or whatever. We want to haul finished products, not raw resources, right? So if we get a smelter in here with a windmill powering it, or 2 windmills powering it, then we can take the scrap metal, produce the blocks, and then take the blocks back to storage over here. That might be an interesting play. So what does a small windmill cost me? 120 science? Not going to be able to do the big one. This is interesting. Generates a changeable amount of power from the wind. Do I have a position for a battery too? Not really. I guess I don't need to worry about it. So if we get 2 small windmills, I would think if the smelter costs 200 and this provides maximum of 300, even with the variable wind, like, it should be pretty good. And I wonder if we want to put the windmills up here. Let's go ahead and unlock this and see what this looks like. Okay. Yeah. We can go nice and high up here. Kind of the highest area around. I don't know if you want to put them next to each other or not. But we would also need a vertical shaft here. It's interesting. How would you connect them? What's the vertical shaft cost? 40? Okay. Let's say we place that here. And then another one on top of it. Then do you... Does it connect like that? I think it does. I'm not sure. I don't think you could have 2. Yeah, they would overlap, right? Okay, so then we want to... Let's demolish that. We would then need a power shaft like this. Now, is this though? Yeah, that's vertical, so that we don't have a choice really. We have to do it like this. We do that, and then we get 1 and... Looks like I need a little bit more distance. Okay, that brings power down to this level. We will need stairs up. Like so. And then we'll need stairs here. How are they getting up here? We would have to cut a path through the trees for them, which I'm not a huge fan of. But they're going to be needing to carry this over anyway. So we can have a path that goes like this. And then goes up to... Yeah, it goes up to there like that. All right, let's set the path. That. And like this. Okay. That lets us set up our power. And then we can consume the power at the smelter once we have 300 science to unlock and build it. We can build that here. Out of curiosity. Yeah, we can build it like that and it would connect to the power. Perfect. We could even have another one next to it if we figured out... Should I? Yeah, I might... No, because those windmills are only going to power 1. That's okay, that's okay. Interesting. All right. And this is starting to look like we might need this to be another district with a district crossing here. I'm not quite sure how that works, but we are very far away on the path. So We might cut some of this down and turn this into a little district transition. We might cut the path and build a district over here. We need housing, food, and water as the bare minimums. These we could trade planks and gears for metal bars with these guys. Like we could set up a trade like that. Possible, something to look into. A lot of work and a lot of commuting to get this set up, the initial section. I wonder if it's better to just bite the bullet and set up the district now. Well, we'll hold off on it. For now, we'll hold off on it and we'll let them do their long commute over here to kind of start building this stuff. All right. So we survived the drought. Our dam worked as intended, even though it had this side effect of lowering our power. It did prevent all of this water from completely draining during the drought. Even, after a 3-day drought, this all stayed green, which is great. We learned that we're going to need some additional work over here. Honestly, I might not do sluice gates here. I might just do a straight up dam, just like this. It's enough to keep it from draining. Should kind of slow the flow. Because I think this is like 0.75. I think this is higher than the 0.65 we have on the floodgates. I have to get a path over here to do it, though. But still, up to almost 40 beavers with plentiful food and water and resources, continuing to grow our science and our industry. Another very productive episode as we made it through our second drought with our goals intact, right? I'm pretty pleased with how this is going. It's my main problem with colony sims usually is that they're too stressful for me. There's too many disasters, there's too many demands, too many requirements, too much pressure, and I just can't build what I want to build. I can't go slowly and think things through and take my time. This game is really scratching the itch of building something cool, and in terms of the colony and like growing it and expanding it and making through the tech tree without the overwhelming constant pressure and emergencies that a lot of the other games in the genre have. Something like Oxygen Not Included, right? Or Don't Starve. Well, Don't Starve isn't exactly a colony sim. But my point is, I'm really, really enjoying the cozy nature of this. Part of it, I guess, is probably because I'm playing on easy. But yeah, I am really enjoying this game. I like it a lot. I've been recording and uploading nonstop for a couple of days since I started playing it. And I expect to spend quite a lot of time on Beaverton here, learning the game on easy and enjoying the hell out of it. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. Remember, if you want a beaver named after you, because we have tons of little kids, little baby beavers, just leave me a comment and I'll name one after you. And we'll see what they get up to. Look at our beavers. Where's Ken A? Did he die? No, he's still working. He's working at the hauling post. Got a strong back, Ken A. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching again. Hope you are enjoying the playthrough. Tips, recommendations, anything you want to say to me about this, leave it in the comments below. It is middle of December 2025, so if you're watching this and it's around that time, there's still plenty of time to chat to me about the game. Otherwise, yeah, take care. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.